Like an ultimate showgirl is on the floor.
Hello, everyone. It's Queen. Checkmate. The motherfucking ultimate. The ultimate showgirl. Um, I'm in the process of making a new intro. Maybe I'll do a collage or some pictures or something. I know I have audio I want to attach to it. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear Queen? All right. So yeah, y'all, I'm loving the new products. Loving the new products. So now that I'm getting the technique and I have the products, I'm now playing with my eyelashes. So we gotta master those, y'all. Master those. Oh, I had a beautiful Monday. Wow, I slept like a baby just about all day. It's cool here. I think it rained early morning. And the hot water heater man, he came. So he did a diagnostic, moved it, did a few tests, turned the breakers on. I'm going to go check again for any leaks, but there seems to be no damage from me mopping. Other than he said I probably hit this little, it looked like a tiny faucet at the bottom of the water heater. So I'm just thanking God because water is worse than a fire, y'all. If you ever had a home, you can see fire, you can smell fire. Water is silent. By the time you know there's water damage, it's rotted through some wood and there's a collapse in a ceiling, a floor, or you're going to have a major flood from the pipes bursting after, some pressure. So I've had my time with water in a house. My house in Georgia, it didn't have the right French drain and it didn't have a sump pump in the basement. And Augusta is historically a area that floods. So my house started flooding. This is my second house. I had a house in Augusta, Georgia. And like I said, I've told this story before. And I'll tell it again later as we're doing the FIFA 2026 on my front porch. The house was ideal, the size, schools, the military base, it's water issue. And so I had to unload that house. I wasn't dealing with no water. Uh, so I got that fixed. It was an unfinished basement at that, and I had a lot of things down there as far as storage. So I lost a lot of my pictures. And when I traveled to Egypt, I had the Sphinx, the pyramids, little replicas and stuff. So whenever, and then when I was in Maryland, my landlord decided he was going to put in a new shower on the third floor. There was a basement, second floor, third floor. And he even assisted the person he said was a plumber. Anyway, they said everything was fine, a new shower. I had never seen this in my life. And I normally worked from home, but that particular day I had to go in the office. When I came home, it looked like Niagara Falls. When I tell y'all it looked like Niagara Falls in my house, that's just how much water. Jesus. And I didn't know how long it had been going on. And when I did my research on the internet, there was some, I think, nickel pipes in there made with something in this particular area. had won a lawsuit with the home builders, and they, gave them lump sums of money to repair or replace their pipes because it was known that these, I think it was nickel, I don't know, it's copper now, these pipes could burst and cause a lot of damage, massive water damage. And so the homeowners had been made whole. And some took the money and redid the pipes, and some didn't. My particular landlord didn't. And then he had us in there, renters. So I had to do my research because at first he was trying to put the cost on me. And I didn't have rental insurance. Okay? So he wanted me to walk away with a straight loss plus keep paying rent. Mm-mm. You only got this so-called plumber. So I did my research legal. Okay, the plumber, number one, was not licensed. There are websites, state websites for licensed plumbers, just like licensed nurses. Even if the plumber say he licensed, you can go check their license to make sure it's still up to date, or if they're telling the truth. And that's the thing about business, taking folks on what they say. No, there are websites to confirm that I'm a nurse, and prior to hiring nurses and should be plumbers, you have to check their license, and someone has to sign off that they checked. Okay, so the pipes burst. I don't have rental insurance. He have homeowners, but see, he's renting this home. And renting is like they would have charged him more for insurance because he's operating as a business. He has people in there other than himself and his family. So insurance, yes, was going to pay for his damages to his dwelling, but not anything to do with me. Okay, and I didn't have rental insurance, and I mean the second floor was flooded. The basement was flooded. Oh, it was war, honey. Not you. His house was messed up. Had to be gutted. And then there was a woman from the city that came through to inspect because this water came in like the Niagara Falls automatically. Because I called the firemen and everything to come in. Even with fire and water, you got to call somebody. And my neighbor helped me turn off the water, to the house, but still, oh my God, this water, y'all. So anyway, the fire people come out, they get the water turned out to the house, and I'm left with all this damage. And because of the damage, the fire department have to send the inspectors over to make sure the house is habitable. Okay. So the city inspector comes in and she sees my little granddaughter. She says, "Your granddaughter's here with you?" I say, "Yeah." She said, "Well, this is not safe. Um, I see mold, and because of the age of this child and the damage." White woman, okay? She documented everything. Now, documentation matters. White, okay? So I go to the Holiday Inn, and of course, I'm paying out of my pocket initially, and I'll get it on the back end from the insurance company. And I bounce back and forth from Holiday Inn to the house because after they come in with the wet vacs, and his insurance paid for the cleaning of the spill, but not the replacement of things lost. And then they was going to pay for his, putting down new carpet, new walls. It needed everything, the water. None of my clothes and stuff that was stored on the second floor, third floor, my son, my granddaughter stuff. Because I didn't have rental insurance. But I said, but he wouldn't, hired the plumber. How could I have to pay for the things I lost because he didn't have a licensed plumber? Okay. Y'all know I like to balance the scales. And he still wanted rent for this damage. I'm not paying you. I'm paying the Holiday Inn. You think I'm gonna pay you too? I will pay you when everything is repaired. Okay? And my belongings are restored. Man, I fought with his insurance company for almost 6 months to a year. I ended up moving back, to Georgia, but I still kept fighting, y'all. So before I left Maryland, and my daughter's father was dying in Augusta, Georgia, I was in Augusta. I had this court date in Maryland about this goddamn, place, this apartment that I'm living in, and this man, trying to get me to pay him while it's not habitable. Okay? So I say to him, I'll be back. I'll have to make this trip to Maryland, make this court date. I almost didn't go because he's dying. And I'm like, okay, these white folks gonna win. They always win. But one thing I found out about the law, when you got it on your side. I drive back. I represent myself. And I, talk to the judge and the lady from the city is there, the one that came to inspect the house. Said it was basically not habitable. And she detected mold. White woman. I'm going to keep saying that. Because you have my landlord, he's testifying in his interest. I'm testifying in my interest, the rental. So we got this third party, and the judge asked her, when you came out, what were your findings? So this person is third party. There's a witness there from the city. They should have no skin in the game. Tell the man what you documented. That's all. And what was your assessment? She said she wasn't at liberty. She's not qualified to say anything about mold. And if she said anything she denied saying anything because a city worker can't say they see mold. Mold is serious. You got to. And he said, well, was the place habitable? Since you're not, and it's in the law, city laws of Maryland, that you cannot be the one to say you saw mold. It has to be a professional that comes out and say, yes, this is mold. He said, but certainly you can say if the place was habitable, livable. Oh, she said, yeah, it was after the wet vac folks came in, it didn't have walls and floors, and she wasn't a mold expert and all this stuff, so she thought I could live there. And I said, Your Honor, may I speak? He said, yes. I said, I got an 18-month-old granddaughter there in that place in its current condition. I'm a nurse. If I go out to a house to visit an elderly patient or anybody that has a child the age of my granddaughter, upon witnessing what I witnessed, I'm mandated to call elderly care and say this person is in an inhabitable place as a nurse. This is what this city inspector said about this particular apartment upon knowing that my granddaughter, 18 months, 2 years old, can't quite remember, is in this place that I'm paying for. And I refuse to pay until they get it in order. He asked the woman again, the inspector, would this place be inhabitable for 18-month-old or a senior citizen? We got the law here now. She's under oath. She says yes. Had the pride out of her, but it shouldn't. It's the law. Yes or no? Shouldn't be about my complexion, my color. After she testifies under oath that the house was not safe because I had a grandbaby in that house, the judge, knowing that, and my payments were always on time prior to this flood, and what else I was going to, he hired a plumber that was not licensed. He did this. And plumbers, licensed plumbers, there's a website for all folks hiring them to check this website. He says she don't owe you nothing. Matter of fact, you owe her. Man, his insurance owed me. So I ended it up, I said I won the case, and he was negligent. The judge declared him negligent. Ooh, that's all I needed. Because in our contract for rental, yes, it said I had to have rental insurance, but there was this clause, all the fine print matter, that if the landlord was negligent in his dealings with maintenance and it damaged mom belongings, then he was responsible for making me whole, restoring me. So I win the case. I go back to Georgia because, again, my daughter's father's died. He dies, there's a week or something, maybe longer because there was a shutdown. So I'm now knowing that I'm moving back to Georgia. I've won my court case, but it's not necessary that I act now because I got other things. And I wanted to give it long enough, the case, where outside of the appeal window. Because when he was taking me to court for not paying my rent, I kept appealing it when the judge, based on our contract, would say, yes, you owe him this. And then we went, I think that was a magistrate, and then we went higher than the magistrate, and that's why we had this judge. He listened to his side, my side, and then the experts from the city who came out and looked at the place. And outside, and I kept appealing. And so every time I appealed, like I said, I would leave the magistrate and go to a higher court who had to check the judge decisions prior to getting to the appeal person. Like he's looking at the law, according to the contract, the law, and with most judges, they will split the cost. Like she ain't gonna have to do all this and you ain't gonna have to do all this. But in this case, this judge, white man, I never forget it, made him 100% responsible for the damage I incurred. And then he added the word negligent to it. Oh, that sealed the motherfucking deal. I filed that and said when I get to it. And I wanted to get to it outside of him having to appeal and me having to come back to court. So I laid low. Laid low. The window for appeals passed, and I went on. By this time I'm back in Georgia. He's died. My daughter is getting reestablished as far as her location, and like I said, we're dealing with the loss of her father. And I think it's because we have a family reunion in Macon, I believe in June. I will just say June. So by April, I call his insurance company, his homeowners. I got all my little information. I send him that judgment, and I send it past the appeal that he would have had to appeal, my landlord, the insurance. They could have urged him to appeal if I would have notified him in time for his lawyers or the insurance lawyers. Hey, let's appeal this decision. No, I waited outside all of that on purpose. And negligent. I said I want the things I lost from the water damage restored immediately. And if I have to come back to Maryland, I'm going to ask for 3 times the damages. They had this law in Maryland where if things were so egregious, an insurance company or whoever caused so much delay, and what I mean is just plain and simple, just, follow the law and the contract, that you can get treble damages, treble 3 times the damages. You don't have to, there's ChatGPT now in Claude, and these things will definitely assist you. I didn't have any of that when I did all of this. I had my criminal justice degree, okay? And I had the internet even back then. This is 2013 or whatever. Them folks kicked out $15,000 in like 3 or 4 days. Sure did. I could have got more, but after a little, fighting them, and I'm back in Georgia any motherfucking way. $15,000 better than zero. And I fought and won my case myself against white folks in Maryland. Never will forget it. So some white people, judges, they look at the law. And, like I say, having that 2-year-old, 18-year-old granddaughter, and I've just explained to him, like, sir, if I was a nurse, even though the building inspector has already said the place was inhabitable, I don't know why she's changing her testimony now. But okay, she can't say it's mold because she's not an expert. Let's ask about the 2-year-old in the house. Man. So I won. I'm back in Georgia. I'm restarting. So that 15,000 worked Okay. So no, at my age, I don't walk away. I'm a fight. There's insurance. Let insurance pay for it. Or make better decisions. Because if I lose because of you, somebody got to pay me. It's just as simple as that. If I lose because of something that I've done, I don't mind paying. Because I've gambled on me and won each and every time. Because I'm focused, laser focused. But I don't gamble with people because I know people are, they got their own agenda. So I don't gamble on people. I just, hey, if I'm doing business with you, and when I say business, exchange. That's family, friends, and foe. Exchange. Fair exchange equals no robbery. We just gonna go with the energy. Fair exchange equals no robbery. And I know what I'm giving. So, and for the young people, as you mature, evolve, you're going to have to get things in writing with folks. You're going to have to get things in writing. So when they don't honor the deal, when they don't honor the deal, you can't just be going out hauling off and slapping folks, because that's what my people do. They will slap the shit out of you. Okay? You can't just get up in people's faces and stuff. And I'm not doing all that anyway. Because like they say, when two people arguing, we don't know who's at fault. That's why I stay quiet. And that's what I'm going to do with you. Okay? Tilda, keep on playing. I'm going to go quiet. Because see, you again, you're not familiar with the law. And you already got this on your record. I'm going to let you dig your own hole again. You over there feeding the boy that robbed you. Don't motherfucking play with Queen. Do you hear me? Tilda May. Tilda May. So I'm going to let you, we will be 60 this year. I'm going to let you decide how this two-step going to go. And I'm not going to wait for you to call my name. During that contempt, see, I seen you. I seen you. Now fucking play with me. Fucking play with me. Come on with me now, y'all. I just don't have time for foolishness, y'all. Not at 60. Not ever. Because like I said, I've been this way ever since I was 16. I wouldn't be retired and at home enjoying each and every beautiful day. I wake up. I can wait for the sunrise. The birds are chirping. I ain't up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get the children ready for daycare. Get myself ready. In the military, we got to run 2 miles. About 100 push-ups, sit-ups before I even got my day started. You don't know But you know what you up against. And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. I seen you. I seen you. When they walked your ass in the back handcuffed. Don't you fucking play with me. Don't you fucking play with me, you crybaby. Wolfing on this motherfucker. But you do you, girl. You know I'm proud of you. But you're going to have to stop playing. I'm going to have to make you cry again. Because, see, you started that shit with the courts with me. I'm a criminal justice major, my darling. And if you think I didn't pull the trigger then, I'm going to do more than pull the trigger with these judges that I bring your black ass before the courts, too. This time around. Because you was in on it from the beginning. Keep playing. You was in on it from the beginning. So get your ass on somewhere before you be crying like you was in that courtroom when they locked your ass up. Okay? 24688. Get your ass on. I mean get your ass on. Playing with me. Y'all, I ain't got time for it. I'm enjoying my life after busting my ass all my life working. I didn't steal from folks. I didn't scam folks. I worked for everything I have today. hmm Yeah. You see, ain't no bags under my eyes. I sleep well. I sleep well at night. Queen. Checkmate. The motherfucking ultimate. The ultimate showgirl. I'm a heavy motherfucking hitter. Heavy motherfucking hitter, y'all. You'll be 60, I'll be 60. Go somewhere and sit your black ass down. I'm not going to wait for you to call my name, my darling. I'm going to take the evidence. The previous court order. Because, see, it was strategic. When I said, okay, yeah, I'll take the order, I just needed to get you on record. That was the worst thing you could ever let me do, was get a protective order on a cop's wife. You are dangerous. And them white people don't fuck with you in Paulding County. I'm going to bring all your black ass to Fulton at that. Because it's going to be criminal. Go and get your crybaby ass on. I seen you crying. I seen you. You know I seen you. Knowing goddamn well none of these people give a fuck about you putting on a show. I'm going to let you talk for 3 weeks. If you are not smart enough to shut your fucking mouth. Now, 3 weeks. Tilda, what's your last name, Holt? Your Honor. I don't know these people. What's today's date, y'all? Because we're gonna get you a date for you. Your black ass. Because I'm giving you 3 weeks. And as a 6-year-old grandmama, you should shut the fuck up in 3 seconds. But we gonna see. Because you wants to put on a show for these motherfuckers. But we gonna put a show. Because you know what they call me. The motherfucking ultimate. The ultimate show girl. I am on the floor. And I will not feel sorry for you this time. See, I let you go the last time, didn't I? I ain't letting you go this time. Because you're a menace to society. Okay, today is the 7th. 3 weeks from today's date is the 28th. I'll have my paperwork ready if you can't shut the fuck up starting right now. Go find somebody else to motherfucking play with. Who's over here? Hey, Saul, how you doing? Girl, I'm just up. I took me a series of naps today, child. So I slept so good all day in the nice cool breeze. And then you know when you're prepared to pay about $2,000 for something and it ain't nothing but $150 a water heater. Oh, hallelujah. Glory to God. So I ain't got time. You ain't getting paid. Get your ass on. 3 weeks from today. Next. Every motherfucking hitter. Every motherfucking hitter, yeah. Hello, I am preparing for FIFA 2026, the evolution of Queen. You stay up there under them tunnels feeding them homeless folks that you about to fight with. You can't do shit because you are on video. Selling your motherfucking soul to the lowest bidder. Find somebody to play with. I yield the floor. My darlings. My darlings. I yield the floor. And I notice you ain't been reading that dictionary that Judge told you to get. Got them on video. You perjured yourself, remember? I got your black ass on video. The hell and the high water. Let's do step. Let's do step.
There she was. She'd been there all the time. I'd been too busy making faces so folks would like me. I'd never seen her. There she was.
Long live the Queen. And I yield the floor. My darlings, I yield the floor. Checkmate.